Hey friends, Mark Barta with LGBTQ_ today, your weekly insight into the queermosphere. No more guys and gals. It's just not appropriate as there are various genders throughout the spectrum. So it's gonna be, hey friends, from now on. So do me a favor, if you like what you see, let me know in the comments. And if you don't like what you see, well, you can just go crunch on some rocks. How about that? Well, I hope everybody is having a great Sunday. This week has brought us some interesting things. Christianity, the Catholics, and the Family Research Council condemn queers again. Federal judges refuse to use a defendant's pronouns because it will affect their writing, and Japan rules that the same-sex marriage ban is unconstitutional. What are you waiting for? Go grab some coffee and a croissant, and let's get started. So there's been a lot of hubbub about the church and the queers in this last week. The Family Research Council reminds followers that the Bible teaches to kill immoral gays. That's not what I've read in the good book, but okay, to each their own. The Pope also chimed in last week, stating that the Catholic Church cannot bless same-sex marriages as it cannot bless sin. Wow. First off, the Pope needs to stay in his lane and focus on his pedo priests and the damage that they have caused over the years, rather than getting involved in something that is innately natural and something that has not even been mentioned by Christ in the big old book. Not even once. There's not one direct quote from Jesus Christ on homosexuality. Not to mention, the word homosexual was not even in the Bible. There's no translation. There is no direct translation for the word homosexual. So every interpretation that you're making is false because there's no word to go from. There's no word to pull from. It didn't exist. If your own boss has nothing to say about it, why are we still focused on a book that's thousands of years old and something that cannot be 100% verified again because it's been translated and translated and translated over the years from the original version? The Family Research Council is using the following passage from the Bible to spread its hate. Romans chapter 1, verse 18. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. Paul continues to use the term parricin, which means unnatural or against nature. Well, here's the thing about the great apostle Paul. He wrote a lot about these unnatural desires, and a lot of scholars feel that, well, Paul was probably dealing with his own problems with his sexuality. And if you Google Paul, you will see that some scholars believe he was a gay man. So my point is, if you cannot give me a direct quote from JC himself, don't come at queers with your bullshit book spouting hate. Thank you. Well, federal judges have refused to use a defendant's pronouns, stating that their writing would suffer. Well, the following statement was released. Clarity suffers and confusion may follow when legal writing refers to a single individual as they, especially when materials advert to other actors who are naturally described as they or them in the traditional plural. John Kelly Thompson, who prefers the pronouns they, them, their, was recently sentenced to 45 months in prison. In his appeal, defense counsel mentions how prosecutors referred to them in the wrong pronouns despite being requested not to do so. So here's a quick fix. It's really quite simple. If you're dealing with someone who is consistently misgendered, just use their name. How freaking hard is it to refer to someone with their name? Like when you're writing, scratch all of the pronouns and just refer to them as Sean Kelly Thompson. And then as you go on throughout your writing, if you'd like to refer back to that person, you just mention their name again. Sean. It really isn't hard. If you're not comfortable, just use their name. It's not rocket science. Well, a Japanese court rules that the same-sex marriage ban is unconstitutional. Wait a second. Isn't Japan like one of the most over-sexualized countries in the world? Like, don't they have like this huge booming porn industry? And now we're finally coming to this conclusion? Well, better late than never, I guess. The ruling doesn't mean that marriages can start immediately, as other districts are working through similar cases. The court ruled that legal benefits stemming from marriages should equally benefit both homosexuals and heterosexuals, writing that the ban violates constitutional rights because of race, creed, sex, social status, or family origin. Japan desperately needs this and is the only G7 country that has yet to legalize same-sex marriage. Currently, Japanese queers have no rights to inherit their partner's estate, parental rights, and also marriages abroad are not recognized yet, which pose some visa questions, of course. I really hope this is a catalyst for some real change. Japan's national diet would have to pass the law formally to legalize same-sex marriage, and I hope they do so, as I'm sure there are many Japanese couples that would like to enjoy a happy married life like so many other couples around the world. We'll be watching. Well, guys, let's check out the history from last week, because we are who we are because of the history we create. Well, back in 1983, a study in the AMA concludes that AIDS is not spread by social or casual contact. In 1986, after 14 years of fighting, New York City finally gets a gay rights ordinance, and in 1988, Israel legalizes homosexual acts between consenting adults. Well, that's it for this Sunday. With the weather changing around the country, make sure you get out there and soak up some vitamin D, because, girl, you are pasty. Get some sun on that face. Bronze it up. Enjoy the spring. It's the first day of spring. I'm so excited. The birds are chirping. I'm working on my backyard, and I'm gonna enjoy it. Well, guys, make sure you check out lgbtqnation.com. If you see something that you think I should mention in one of my videos, please let me know in a DM or comment. And if you've yet to subscribe, please do follow me so you get my weekly videos in your feed. And remember to be nice, but if you can't, burn the bitch good. Love you, friends. See you next week. Bye.